Hello, I'm Rida Fakhri in Washington, and these are the main stories brought to you by Al Jazeera. Pakistan's government is vowing to eliminate Taliban fighters in its northwestern frontier province as battles intensify between security forces and the Taliban. The International Red Cross, meanwhile, is warning of a worsening humanitarian crisis in the Swat Valley as hundreds of thousands have been forced to flee their homes to escape the fighting. In neighboring Buner, some 300,000 people have been displaced. The violence comes as the presidents of Pakistan and Afghanistan met with congressional leaders in Washington. Speaking after the meeting, Asif Ali Zardari called on the world to join in their fight against the Taliban. Al Jazeera's Rob Reynolds followed day 2 of their Washington trip.
President Karzai and Zardari went to Capitol Hill, where they had a frank and pointed exchange with lawmakers, many of them asking questions about the will and capability of the two countries to continue their fight against Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. Some of the lawmakers were very anxious to make it clear that this was not the United States' fight alone, that both Afghanistan and Pakistan must fully commit to fighting the Taliban and Al-Qaeda forces.
In Afghanistan, 12 people were killed and some 30 injured when a suicide bomber struck at a market. It happened in the Helmand province in the country's south. Officials say the bomber was targeting British troops in the area. There are no reports of military casualties. The U.S. Treasury has announced the results of its so-called stress tests, a look at the health of the country's largest banks and financial institutions. It found 10 of the largest companies would need an additional $75 billion in capital if the recession were to worsen. A former U.S. soldier has been convicted of raping and murdering a 14-year-old Iraqi girl. Stephen Dale Green pleaded not guilty to charges that he sexually assaulted and killed the teenager after shooting her entire family in Baghdad in March of 2006. The 24-year-old could now face the death penalty. And those are the top stories. Don't forget, you can always keep up to date with the news on our website. That's aljazeera.net/English, aljazeera.net/English.